AiRace Speed and AiRace Xeno. Have you played them?
Four months after my initial trial run of this channel, I finally decided to come back to it. What better way to do it with another 3DS game that's rather short and doesn't have a decent plot. Whereas the other two I did at least had shallow plots, these ones don't even have one. AiRace Speed and AiRace Xeno are like time trials to games, where the whole game is just racing through tunnels at high speeds, trying to get the best time you can amongst other awards. When I say these games are short, I mean it. You can complete both of them in 15 hours. You could probably do it in a lot less, except they have an achievement for playing for 10 hours and playing for 5 hours, respectively. In fact, in AiRace Xeno, I got everything else in the game besides the 5-hour achievement in about 2.5 hours. Honestly, I think AiRace Xeno should have just been DLC for AiRace Speed. It's pretty much the same game, just with different tracks and spaceships, I guess you could call them? But then it is also priced to be DLC, so I really can't complain about it. I mean, it was only $3 compared to AiRace Speed's $4, so not a big deal. The majority of the game's combined 33 levels involves racing on 3 or 4 lap circuits trying to get the best times possible. And depending on how fast you go, you can get a bronze, silver, or gold star. With these stars, the levels also have 3 additional awards. One for completing the level without crashing, one for never letting go of the boost button, and one for not touching any walls along the way. For the most part, it would take a minimum of 2 completions per level to get all the awards. The first completion would get you the no crashing, the boosting, and the gold star, because to get the award for constantly boosting, you have to do it without crashing, and if you complete the level without ever letting go of the boost, you're guaranteed to get the gold star by a pretty good margin. And then the second completion, you can get the one for not touching any walls. That one's fairly simple, just take it slow and hold the brake where necessary. In addition to the circuit levels, there are also ring challenges and endless levels. The ring challenges require the player to go through a series of rings without missing any, and these are generally completed in under a minute. And in the endless levels, you just keep going until you lose all 3 of your lives. There are no breaks in this mode, and every time you complete a lap, you go a little bit faster. There are also about 60 achievements between these two games. As mentioned, there's the ones for playing for a certain amount of hours, but there's also a range of other ones like fly 120 seconds while constantly using boost, or crash at 99% completion of any level. Most of the achievements you should lock just by playing through the game, but the ones you actually have to try to get really aren't too difficult, so not much to worry about. The controls for the game are quite solid. They handle pretty well with the circle pad for directions. You got A for boost, B for brake, and then the L and the R make sharp banks so you can make hard turns or fit through tight spaces. You could also use the touchscreen as a trackball, but I really have no idea how anybody can play like that. It doesn't exactly handle very well. So overall, the games are rather short, but they can be challenging and actually quite fun. I will say though that due to their short nature, unless you're going to complete them 100%, don't even bother with them. For me, they were nice though. They were just quick, mildly challenging games I could take out between break and my college works and work on something to add to my completion log. One final thought I want to add before I wrap this video up is that the sense of speed in these games is amazing.
Whoa!
These games are members of that rare breed that actually benefit from being in 3D. When it's on, you actually feel like you're flying through tunnels at several hundred miles an hour. These games are perfect demonstrations of what the 3DS is capable of. To wrap up this video, I'd say I'd recommend these games to those who enjoy the feel of high speed. These games are also great for people who like to go for 100% completion and, like me, are also on a rather tight budget. Definitely don't recommend these games to those who only care about beating a level regardless of what their ranking is or what rewards they get, because there's not going to be much here for you. And I don't recommend it to people who don't like time trials, because that's pretty much what the entirety of the games are. There's also no multiplayer, so if you're looking for that, you're going to have to keep looking. So those are the AiRace games on the 3DS. There are 2 more for the DSi, but I haven't played those and I really can't put in a word for them. I suggest that if you're not sure about these, or you know they're not for you, at least try the demo. So what about you? Have you played them? You think you might try them? Well, let me know below and keep playing those obscure games. And I promise, at some point I will get the console games and games with decent plots.